Greetings and welcome to Curtain Riser at Natya Darpan. My name is Ashok Chaudhary, President and founder of Indian Heritage and Cultural Association of New Jersey. In 2013, we started a non-profit organization called Indian Heritage and Cultural Association of New Jersey. The purpose of this non-profit organization is to promote the US-based local talent in performing arts such as theater, dance, and music, and to bring the communities together. Since 2016, we have been organizing multilingual short play festival Natya Darpan, where over 550 local US-based artists perform in this stage. These artists includes actors, directors, writers, stage makeup man, sound and light engineers, backstage managers. So they show their all talent in front of thousands and thousands of very well educated, very sensitive audience of New Jersey and tri-state area. This is our 8th year of Natya Darpan. In this year, we are bringing 6 short plays, 3 in Marathi, 2 in English, and 1 in Hindi. For non-English plays, we have super titles in English. Mana TV International is airing these episodes for Natya Darpan. This episode is produced by Kshit Ji Entertainment. In this episode, we are going to discuss and get to know the director of these plays. In today's episode, we have guest Anu Kanetkar Mahabar from Abhivyakti, California, joining us. To conduct these interviews, we have requested Dr. Manoj Shahane. Dr. Shahane, physician by profession, is well known in New Jersey and theater world in USA. He is an actor, director, and playwright. He has done a lot of work in New Jersey as well as in USA. He won many awards for his acting and writing skills. He performed in English, Hindi, and Marathi. He wrote these plays in English. Four Wall was one of his favorite play and was very well received by internationally known audience. Last year at Natya Darpan, Manoj presented Selfless, an English short drama, which was also critically acclaimed. So without further ado, I would like to welcome Anu Kanetkar Mahabar and Dr. Manoj Shahane. Dr. Shahane, I will give it to you. Take it away.
Thank you, Ashok Ji and Mana International TV for creating this curtain riser for Natya Darpan 2023. I would like to welcome Anu from Abhivyakti for this episode, who's bringing a Marathi play called Pratibimbha by Mahesh Elkunchwal. Anu, I know we have met before a few times that you have brought your play here to New Jersey.
Yes.
We didn't get to talk about Abhivyakti, so if you can let us and the audience know what is Abhivyakti, when did you start, or when did your group start, and
Okay.
how was your travel?
Thank you, Manoj. And thank you, Ashok. Thank you, Natya Darpan. And thank you, Mana TV. So it's really good to be here. And to answer your question about Abhivyakti. So Abhivyakti, we started around like 2003. Initially, we started with really small productions, and they were really literary based. Because as I am really into like poetry, and so we started with those kind of programs a lot. We did many programs based on authors like Gauri Deshpande and stuff like that. And that at some point we started with plays. And but since beginning, I remember that we have been kind of commented that Abhivakti always does this offbeat plays. So I will tell you the list of the plays we have done, so you know what. So to begin with, we did Vairachi Ratra, Thief, Police, Haivadan, and then we did Yatnagar, El Kunjar, Party, El Kunjar, and then, So it's always, for me, it is very important that this journey of any performing art or anything, that journey has to be fulfilling for each and everyone involved in the project. And I really feel if that is the goal that we have, then that's why all this selection of the plays and everything. And I am, as you can see, whoever was involved in the program, they had that feedback. So that's Abhivakti, as you can see, that's what we do. And you have seen Sonata last year. So we presented Sonata. Yes. So apart from these plays, last year in the BMM, we did a program called Antaricha Gudagarbi, where again, we did the same thing. Instead of just, not just, but we really tried to portray a very, as you can say, content, quality content from Marathi literature about the taboo topics.
Mm-hmm. No, that's great. I mean, anytime you had to say that it was content driven or, something that means a lot, little intense, little depth to the subject. I don't think these are taboo. These are fine. I mean, I don't think everything that I have written in the past is always very intense. It's not been, that's lighthearted. It can be, but there is nothing wrong with it. I think it's.
Thank you.
there are elements like Natya Darpan. There are stages like Natya Darpan. There are many others in the country who actually request and require people to come in with the different ideas, social messages, and kind of portray that. Especially Natya Darpan, because in Natya Darpan there is no censorship. So we need that because we need a forum that can freely showcase the ideas that anyone has without feeling, the fear element or, how do I put it up? What will people say? So that I think that is something that brings us to the next topic is, picking up. I think you have done few of Maheshji's plays, and these are at the best not easy, right? To the best of the directors, to the best of the actors, they start at 7 out of 10, right? So when you are starting to do plays like Maheshji's plays, especially a thing like Pratibimbha, which is a very deep play again, which kind of starts in a very lighter way. And we're not going to talk about the play itself because I want people to come and see the play for what it's worth. We don't want to talk about the content or the subject line at this point, but it does have that element of very deep subject, right? About existence, about all of the things. So why do you kind of there are different levels of depth, right? You can do in Marathi you can do G.A. Kulkarni, you can do very different levels of plays that have different depths. So how do you kind of go about looking for a script which has meaning? How do you do that, Anu?
So we, because of the pandemic, thanks to pandemic, we started meeting on Zoom every now and then. And then we started reading these plays casually, like, just try. And I think instead of one person reading it and visualizing it, that energy when you read it in the group, it gives something else to it because, whoever is reading it, whoever is listening, it just gives a different picture. So I think that really helped us in that, all those like 2 years. So we were pretty consistent about doing that. So first, my thing is, if I feel like, oh, this is something interesting when I look at it, but I don't do that alone at all. I'm a people person. So I just, okay, let's get in on Zoom and read it. And then I get to feel, oh, this is what it is. Yeah. So that's the first thing that, And then we know that if people are interested until the end, then we know that is what it is. And it might not be that everyone is understanding everything, including me. First reading, no one, yeah. But it just has that drama element to it, and drama is on various levels, right? It's just not the melodrama that we know. So yeah. So I think the drama element comes up only when you read it in a group. That's what I have felt. That.
Did you ever come across people that were kind of negative about very deep plays like this one or the
Yes,
previous one,
absolutely.
that they said,
Yes.
why can't you do something funny, and why?
Always. So we get that. That's why I said yeah. So I don't know if I should say, but yeah, here we always required, like, why can't you do something simple, halka fulka vinodi, as you will say in Marathi. And yeah, we
So
have
that's fine.
always
I mean,
asked for.
I'm not trying to put you in a difficult spot. What I'm trying to do is encourage people to listen to you,
Yeah.
look at things that are happening in Natya Darpan every single year, the depth and width of the subjects that are covered, and they're very diverse. So there is a definite element to it. So I think it's you don't have to justify yourself trying to see or say that you're doing this. But I just wanted to get your feedback, kind of, because you've been doing this on and off, and I've heard about it
Yeah.
in few of them. But I think it's very commendable that you're working on such a thing. In terms of, if you can introduce your cast members that are here, because and then I can request them to comment on few things that I may have questions about. So if you can be kind enough and introduce them to the audience.
Absolutely. Thanks so much. Yeah, so meet my cast members, without whom the play won't happen. So Supriya Joshi. So she has been with Abhivakti since the first program we did with Gauri Deshpande. So yeah, she and Dipti Gokhale Mengde. She has been working with Abhivakti for last 4 or 5 years. I think I would like to say about Dipti is, when we did Yatnagar, it was just the two characters thing, and I just needed third person. And Dipti came up and say, I can do anything. You can tell me anything, starting from, like a stage or anything. I won't mind. I just want to part of that journey. And I still remember those words. And she has been so good. So I think, yeah, so those are like Supriya and Dipti. Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
so I mean, I'll ask Supriya something first because she's been with you the longest. Supriya, quick question for you is,
Sure.
when Anu decided to do Pratibimbha, did you have to kind of go through the understanding part of the play first, or you just kind of started with Anu, and then as you started and went along, it kind of opened up even more? Because this is not for us, but for
Definitely.
the audience, so that when they see the play and they kind of connect to what you are saying now, they will understand how the progression works.
Yep. Great question, Manoj. Thanks. First of all, thanks to Abhivakti, of course, and then Natya Darpan and Mana TV International for this opportunity. So, to answer your question, again, as Anu said, that we read Pratibimbha as one of our favorite writers, Mahesh Elkun's play, during the whole pandemic thing that we were always doing, reading almost every weekend, and then selecting some ekankika to present in front of the Zoom audience. So Pratibimba was one of that. Anu brought it up. She said, like, this is another play. We all will be interested. Fortunately, we are a group of very like-minded and pretty much very avid readers. So the first draft was, okay, you will read this character, XYZ will read this character. So we just divided the characters and started reading. In the first, I would say very honestly, maybe like 2 to 3 rounds, there was nothing that I could really understand from whatever character I was reading. But as I started going deep into the dialogues and what exactly Ilkunchwar sir is trying to say, and in discussion with my team members like Ajay, who is not here today, but with Ajay and Anu, we just explored the entire set of characters. We explored what is the thought process behind this Pratibimba. Does it relate to what we are doing or what we are living in today's world? And then it amazed us that how relevant it is, though the play has been written somewhere in 1980s, every word or every sentence, every character is so relevant even today. And that is where I think I got to understand it more and more. I'm still exploring the character. I don't want to say that I completely understood it, because it's again El Kunchwar's play. His characters have a different dimensions, different depths. But I'm still exploring my character in the play. So that's how I will say it. It's still in the works, but now I'm at least at a phase where I'm more comfortable with it.
Well, that's very good to hear. And a lot of people, when they see you on the Zoom right now, they see you are excited about your character,
Yes.
and that satisfaction is seen on your face. So that's extremely important for an actor to kind of talk about their character in the play, because as a lot of people who are acted before, they know how much of a rush or a high you get talking
Yeah.
about your character, doing it on stage, and that's better than any drug or anything else that you could think of. So I we can see that on your face. So that's actually great. That tells the audience that you've done a lot of work for the play with Anu, and then we'll go to Dipti from here. Is what about you? What's your take? But I'll not ask you about your character. I'll ask you about what's your experience with Anu, because once or twice I met her in the pre-play stage, and she was screaming and yelling at times, trying to get things done. So not to be mean or bad, but I just want to know, how is Anu as a director?
She's an amazing teacher. I should say that first. And again, to start with, thank you for having us here on this platform, and letting us express what we feel about this whole experience. And Natya Darpan has given us this platform to, actually come back on stage and perform on that level of an audience. And so Anu is a great teacher, and I love being her student. That's the first. That's the first. As she said, I started. I didn't know anybody. When I wanted to get back in theater here in Los Angeles, I was like, I need somebody to, like, a platform. I need to know a person. I need my person who will give me that food, right? I was like craving, and thanks to another common friend who introduced me to Anu. And then, as she said, when Yatnagar came, I was like, what do you need was my thing, and I will be there. The whole process, the whole experience of me just being there, and I will manage the production if you want me to, I'll do this. But her teaching, I learned so much in that process, even when I was not on the stage. That was thrilling and inspiring at another level, because I was getting back to what my heart believes in after a very long time. And then it gives me shivers when I talk about it, because it is so close to my heart. And
Yeah, no, that's good. That's very good.
And that's where I think she saw something in me. So when we started doing the Zoom readings, I'm not a great, I should not put myself in a negative, but I am learning to read more fluent Marathi, and my vocabulary in Marathi has increased because of all this Zoom reading and the whole experience of and performing. We have performed many a plays on Zoom, and she understanding that part of me, that okay, you need a minute to read, and then it's how you understand it, how you act it, and she explaining it to me of what does this think, or what do you think about it? I'm just going to give you a background. You do you. I think that liberty coming from her and allowing us or all actors to express what is coming from our side is a privilege to be in the vicinity of, and so much day to day learning so much with anybody, Anu, be it Supriya, be it Ajay, or any other or actors that I've worked with so far. So I'm just thrilled. That's my.
I hear that, and I was trying to lure you in a trap of calling Anu names, but you didn't fall for that.
I was like,
So
I
she
she's
can
a
give
great
you more
teacher.
roles. I know that
That's
already.
my name for her.
So I was just kidding earlier, Anu. I was not trying to be mean to you. But I have a question back to you now. Is I know we've been talking about it in the past too, like you coming from California to New Jersey with the ensemble, your costumes and whatnot. It's not easy because you're presenting in Jersey and you have to kind of make do with things. Um, Ha- do you usually give thoughts to your set design and things like that when you have a play that is not going to be presented locally? And kind of if you can share a few thoughts about that for the audience, to kind of give them perspective of somebody coming from 6 hours away on a flight and ready to perform in a different location. What would you say to them?
So I think that's the most challenging part. It's always balancing act. It's happening in my brain. Once I stay, the Natya Darpan journey starts, it's always like, okay, so as these people know, they are the part of this journey because we are thinking about each and one little property. Like, is it necessary? Can we go ahead without it? Is it really? So this balancing act is kind of stressful, but at the same time it is really getting us to what we are trying to say on the stage. It's getting closer to that statement what we are trying to make through our script. So it is that kind of thing, but it is very stressful because the thing is, yeah, the simple things, right? Okay, so if we cannot really do that, then can we skip that or can we replace that? Or yeah, so that's really the balancing act about each and everything. And so far we have been lucky that, like from Sonata, I thought that, people got what we are trying to say, even though properties were not up to it was not the full-fledged set, and still. So yeah, it is. I'm sure I can say that at some level it is a compromise we are making, but at the same time, given the platform, I feel like we should try our best with what we have. So what we have is, yeah, this is the script we have, and we are trying to present. So yeah.
Yeah,
So
no, that's a good thought. And then to kind of add some value to what you just said is, I have worked with and I've seen a lot of plays by Mr. Dattani from India and Dr. Farley Richmond, who's done these plays at Natya Darpan and other areas. And they kind of makes us think sometimes is the need to create a structure behind um, is only as important as what you're trying to convey. So I have seen them do the same effective stuff that they have without doing things like you and I do. So I am also like you. I need some kind of support structure in the back to present some of my ideas. But I think forum like Natya Darpan, actually you can see other things also. So it's kind of a mixture of both. So I think it's a great combination for the audience to kind of see part of the set or no set at all. So and still convey the same kind of effective outcome, just so that people know that it's not just you and I and others, but it's the subject that you're presenting sometimes needs certain things, and this is more for the audience than yourself. Is kind of audience needs to understand that there are certain subjects, certain plays, they do need a certain element of stage or nepatya. So I just want to kind of, I'm sure you agree with that too, and I just want our audience to kind of hear that from us, so that I wouldn't want them to kind of see, some people are doing it with empty stage, and why can't you and I do that? And that's really not true in certain cases, while it's true in certain other cases, depending on the concept, the genre, the content, and the execution. So I just wanted to put it out there for the audience,
yes.
kind of a plug out there so that they know about this. right?
Yeah, so to add to your thing, I completely agree. So this time, because this time we had a bigger team from Sonata, unlike Sonata that we had in Natya Darpan 2021. So this time we really focused on lighting, because lighting, we don't have to take any props. So we really go through. So Samir, who is helping, he's doing the lighting for this. So we went each and every, how we can exploit that part at least, because the props is, because of the logistic reason, we cannot do that. But there are so many other things like music and light. So absolutely, you are absolutely right. Because I think what happens on the stage, these are the whole elements, and then it's a drama. It's just not one thing. Absolutely. It's a
Okay.
combination of all these elements. Yes.
So from New Jersey, obviously we'll give you whatever support we can give you to help you. And there are crazy people here, very passionate about the theater, like yourself and your team. So I would really like to sincerely thank you and your team for coming online here on the Zoom. And I would like to thank you all, and then Mana TV International and Ashokji. And with this, I will invite Ashokji back to thank all of you for being here.
Thank you so much, Manoj. This is such a entertaining topic and very educational for me too. As you guys know, I'm not a theater person. I'm learning from you all. Um, Anu, Supriya, and Dipti, your enthusiasm is really, really showing that it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful play. And this will keep that enthusiasm from our team as well. Thank you so very much for taking time from your busy schedule to come here and stay with us and introduce to our audience about your play. Thank you very much. Dr. Shahane, what can I say about you? Very intelligent questions, which we have not prepared. These are all impromptu. And I was listening to your question, and I said, wow, these are really one director to another director. This is a conversation I always enjoyed when I learned so much from this one. So this is a great thing for our audience. And of course, the Mana TV International audience will be thrilled to see these episodes, which was produced by Kriti Entertainment. So thank you, Manojji. Thank you, cast of Pratibimbha. See you at Natya Darpan.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.